Here's what comes up for me today. Last night was the gathering of the vibrational arc, and there were a couple of themes that really came through in our dialogue last night. And one was, this is a group of people that are very aware that they are on a threshold, that they are pushing through to a place of discomfort to grow, and that they're leaving behind what used to be comfort, which is no longer comfortable. And so that edge of pushing through to something new, the unknown, and what you choose to bring and what you choose to leave behind is a very interesting concept. When you work very hard at healing, a lot of space is opened up inside you, and what you choose to bring forth, um, there's a lot more space within you and capacity for new things, and new habits, and even new parts of your persona, because you're burning off the old ones that no longer suit you. And that transition is super messy. It is um, full of like forward and back and forward and back. It's full of needing to check in with yourself all the time to make sure that you're staying in integrity. It's I think physical manifestation and physical changes. For me, this is manifesting in congestion and flu-like symptoms and all that stuff, because my body's literally being made over. So that's one thing that really came up, and it was the awareness that everyone there knew that they need to invest in expanding their consciousness, because the consciousness that they have now is not that will solve the problem of where they need to go. Very similar to that beautiful Einstein quote that the mind that created the problem is not the thinking that will create the solution. It needs a different kind of thinking. Well, that's the same for your level of consciousness. You cannot cross a threshold with the same consciousness that you hold now. What will happen is the vibration just won't, it just will never happen. You won't be able to handle the vibration, it just won't be even open to you. So that's the first thing that came open, and that really everyone kind of really opened with, and opened up themselves to. And the other thing was, I really do believe, I am studying quantum physics, and one of the components of quantum is the idea that the universe is a hologram, meaning that if you take any speck of the universe, a miniature is what's happening in that speck, right? So the grand scheme, if you break it down, is actually made of a million pieces. But if you broke it down to the smallest piece, it would be a miniature of what the universe is. And I think that what we're finding as a people, that is going on with us, the disquiet, maybe the physical sense of discomfort, the mental anguish, the pressure, is mirroring what's going on in the world. We are a fractal of what's happening in the world. So it's, of course, amidst all the joy and bliss and openness that the season can provide, it doesn't surprise me that right alongside that is grief, is processing, is um, really some like deep emotions coming up and out. And you're like, what the hell is that from? Well, we are all a mirror, and we are all entangled. So if you think that you can operate in your bubble without having what's going on in the world come in there, no, we are a fractal piece representation of what's going on in the world and all the beautiful, ugly, chaotic energy that's happening right now. And so, what we ended with was a an attunement ceremony and meditation to bring forth the blessing, to allow our bodies to become the anchor and the vessel for spreading the blessing. And when a blessing is shared, it is multiplicative. So what has come up for me today is inviting you to let it all come through. I'm sure there's an aspect of it, um, whether it's like bliss, or whether it's something from your past, or grief, or just the feeling of uneasy transition. Let it come up. Let it come up. And sitting with that and not running from it or stepping over it is amazing work. Amazing work. And I commend you for that. So if you can identify really what's coming up for you, that is the question I have for you today. And I will see you tomorrow.